Good morning and welcome everyone to Rubber Fab Europe's 6th webinar. This is Dominic Wiese speaking, Rubber Fab Europe's Area Sales Manager. 4 weeks ago, the second webinar series started with insights shared by my product manager colleague Sasha Butter regarding hygienic seals for highest process reliability, followed by the next webinar 2 weeks ago, in which our application engineer Christoph Neufer introduced you to gasket installation. Today, it is Sasha's turn once again, and he will share valuable characteristics and benefits with you relating our next generation of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets that we are currently launching. Let's have another look at a few notes in order to set the framework for this webinar. All participants, please mute your microphones. Feel free to also switch off your video for better quality. Please feel free to raise questions during the presentation in the chat box area, and we will make sure to either answer the question in the chat box or during the presentation or by the end of the presentation. Please be also informed that we will record the session in order to make it available online afterwards via link to OneDrive, as we did for the first 5 sessions. Also, and this is brand new, so listen up, we have been uploading the recorded sessions on Rubber Fab's YouTube channel. Let's just have a quick look at that. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do so, so you can get the Rubber Fab updates as soon as there is a new video online. And next to other videos that were already there, you can find in the video overview all the recorded sessions from the first 5 webinars. The special ingredient we added to this is that we added a timeline which divides the webinars in relevant topics. So maybe let's just jump into one of the sessions. So when you look at the description area, you can show more. And this is really great. You can see all the topics right here. And if you're only interested in how to choose the right components, how to do proper inspection, or just have a quick summary, you can click it and immediately jump to this section. So you can use that to also to direct your clients to the desired content, and I think that's really valuable for you. I will share the link to Rubber Fab's YouTube channel with you in the chat. Anyhow, enough advertisement from my side. Sasha, I'll stop sharing my screen. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome, everyone. I hope you are enjoying. I hope you could enjoy the warm summer days so far, that you're doing good. I'm really excited for today's webinar. I hope that you can enjoy this webinar and find the information helpful when talking to your customers or just in general. My name is Sasha Butter. I'm product manager for Rubber Fab in Europe, and I'm your presenter today. This being said, today we want to focus on a new range of elastomeric gaskets and find out why they are more than just another commodity. Let me share my screen. In our case today, the products of interest are elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets according to industry standard 32676. The DIN 32676, it covers both the metric and imperial pipeline specifications, and it includes the entire DIN range of gaskets and the ISO range of gaskets. But it also covers the entire ASME BPE range of gaskets, and in our case we have considered DIN and ISO gaskets from DN6 all the way up to DN200, and in the ASME area we have covered all dimensions up to 12-inch. On the right side, you can see the buildup of a typical tri-clamp connection. You can see that it consists of the pipe and its ferrules, the tri-clamp gasket as a sealing element, and the clamp in the picture below that is used to tightening the connection. So with the clamp, the load is applied to the tri-clamp gasket, ensuring a sealed connection. The materials we have focused on in this project are EPDM, FKM and VMQ, so silicone. I want to say a couple of words to the motivation of this project. The motivation for this product launch is to offer the best possible value proposition to our partners. So when we observe a change in market requirements, we always must ask ourselves if we still have a good, the best product market fit. Let us start by going through some of the backgrounds that have been strongly considered for this product launch. The requirements in the food and pharmaceutical industries are particularly high and progressively increasing. This is why we think that it is most important to know how the products are manufactured. In this context, we're talking about GMPs, the so-called good manufacturing practices. There are multiple regulations and standards referring to GMP. Some are more detailed than others. For our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets, we have focused on the FDA Section 21, Chapter 174.5 on current good manufacturing practice and EU Regulation EC 2023 from the year 2006, also on good manufacturing practice. What is GMP? Generally speaking, GMP requires that a quality management system suitable for the intended use of the products is in place, continuously improved and documented. More precisely, this means that the entire production process, from raw material to finished product, must be transparent, documented, and improvable and known to a certain and acceptable degree. Documentation, for example, includes change and availability commitments. This can be questionnaires, supplier audits should be arranged and scheduled. The supplier audit should always happen with regard to the subject regulations. For example, it is important that information on each step of the manufacturing process, the raw material specifications, incoming material acceptance criteria, and so on are in place and are executed. Documents should also provide evidence that good manufacturing practices are in place so that under normal and foreseeable conditions, the products that are manufactured do not transfer any of their ingredients, any constituents in quantities into the product that could endanger human health or bring about an acceptable change in the composition of the media or a deterioration or organoleptic change in the characteristics of the media you want to produce. Another very important factor is the traceability, which we're going to talk about next in a little bit more detail. But another thing that is very important is that all documents that I've just mentioned, and I've just mentioned a few, change commitments, quality questionnaires, specifically documenting the information on the production process, the raw materials that are being used in the process, and so on. All such documents must and should be approved and signed by all parties within the supply chain. That means when we're talking about elastomeric products, it is the mixer, the compound manufacturer, the molder, and the supplier. So everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to provide the same level of commitment when it comes to the good manufacturing practice and the connected quality control systems. Another point is that the use of materials, ingredients in a product should always only be at the level to achieve the best technical function. That means that no more than what is basically required to achieve the desired technical function should be added to the compounds to keep them pure, to ensure that the materials have a suitable purity. So all those things have to be considered when talking about good manufacturing practice, and all those things have been considered on our side when launching or when preparing this new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets. Like I said, I would like to talk also a little bit more about traceability. traceability is one of the most important requirements when it comes to good manufacturing practice to GMP. But why exactly is traceability important and how does it work? If a product shows quality problems, the manufacturer of the product must take effective measures promptly. A slow or ineffective response from the manufacturer will create a sense of distrust among consumers, in our case end users, or also for us business partners. Those changes, those problems may even endanger the existence of the company. In addition, as laws to protect consumers have been implemented and are also progressively increasing, the number of companies required to quickly recall their products due to problems has been increasing every year. The general concept of traceability applies to chain traceability. This is what we see in the slide right here. Chain traceability means that the history from procurement of raw materials or parts all the way to distribution and the end user can be traced forward and backward. That means that manufacturers can monitor to where their products have been delivered. That means they can trace forward, while companies and consumers in the later section of the supply chain can understand from where the products in their hands are coming from, where they came from. So that means they can trace back. This provides manufacturers with the benefit of easier cause investigation and product recall when unexpected problems occur with their products. Consumers can also use this as a benchmark to only select highly reliable products without worries about traceability issues, mislabeling, and so on. So in this case, we're talking about chain traceability. Besides the chain traceability, the internal traceability has become more and more relevant to end users in the food and pharmaceutical industries. So let's have a look at the internal traceability. What does that mean? So we talked about chain traceability. Internal traceability means to monitor the movement of parts and products within a single process. For example, within the molder's plants and the operations the molder has to perform, or within the mixer and compounder, within Rubber Fab. Yeah? So the internal traceability means to monitor the movement of parts and products within a single process or plant. Traceability in manufacturing processes is an activity of collecting and managing information regarding what has been done in certain manufacturing processes, from acceptance to the raw materials and parts to the shipment, all the way to the shipment of the products. For traceability in manufacturing processes, each product or lot is assigned an identification number, and then the information such as work details, inspection results, dimensions that have been checked, purity analysis are linked to this identification number. So it's a unique identification number in each process step, so that it can be utilized later on and passed. Also, those information must then be passed throughout the supply chain, all the way forward to distribution and consumers, and all the way backwards to the very beginning, the raw materials. So this is called chain traceability. And if you have a look at the single process steps within each of those supply chain parts, then we're talking about internal traceability, meaning the movement of products within a single process or plant, and to make sure that those process steps are monitored and documented. I want to share some more information with you on the regulatory compliance and the testing we have carried out and we have considered for our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets. In terms of regulatory compliance and testing, we aim to achieve the highest level of compliance. We have performed third-party testing according to FDA Section 21, Chapter 177.2600, and have carried out a formulation review. So each of the formulations for our elastomeric range of new products, each formulation is exactly known to us. It is exactly, it is reviewed according to FDA, and we made sure that there's nothing in there that doesn't need to be in there. So besides the formulation review, we have also, of course, carried out extraction testing according to FDA. We have done USP Class 6 testing according to Chapter 87 and 88 at the highest temperature. We have performed 3A sanitary testing according to 1803 for rubber products. And what's new, we have also added compliance, and we have ensured compliance according to EC 1935 for materials and articles intended to come into contact with food. In connection with this, it's a couple of points below now, but as we have seen on the previous slide, also on the GMP side, the European Regulation 2023 has been considered. Our products remain to be free of animal-derived ingredients, so the ADI criteria has been considered. And finally, also the FDA GMP, Securing Good Manufacturing Practice according to Chapter 174.5, has been considered for all these new products. In-house, besides the extraction testing according to FDA, we have performed physical property analysis. So I will show you a little bit more what capabilities we have in-house in the following slides. But let me tell you, at this point, we have performed a vast range of physical property testing. We have also done immersion testing to see how the materials behave under certain and different environments. We have done thermogravimetric analysis, which is a chemical analytical method to evaluate the materials, and much more. Altogether, we have created a higher level of compliance for this range of new products than anything we had before. So let me give you a quick overview, an idea of our in-house testing capabilities. So being part of the Garlock family of companies, Rubber Fab has also access to the global expertise of our material engineers, as well as multiple in-house testing capabilities. Like, for example, a chemical lab. Our chemical lab is specializing in the characterization and analysis of fibers, fillers, and polymers for non-metallic gaskets, for example, rubber compounds and sealing materials. This lab is also used to conduct immersion testing of samples in corrosive or toxic chemicals prior to testing in the physical lab. And the chemical lab also serves as a venue for screening new materials for possible use in gasket and sealing compositions, like in our case now. And we can perform there, for example, the mentioned extraction testing according to FDA. But in the chemical lab, we also have a number of we also have equipment that allows us to perform more extensive chemical analysis. So we are very well equipped in our chemical lab in-house. We also have a compound lab. The compound lab is focused on microscale rubber production. It's a 1,200 square foot lab, and it's used to produce small batches of experimental or custom-made compounds. And it is used to study the results of small changes in formulation or processing. So basically, the compound lab serves as a, it allows us the opportunity to not only analyze rubber batches, but also to optimize and to experiment with certain formulations to ensure best possible results. The physical lab specializes in testing physical properties. In our case of raw materials and polymeric composites, the rubber compounds, the physical test lab has the ability to test material in many different environments and liquid media. For example, testing of tensile strength, compressibility testing, recovery testing, and so on. Finally, the functional lab is designed to conduct performance testing and performance characterization for both static and dynamic sealing products. The sealing products, in our case, our elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets, can be evaluated under normal or accelerated operating conditions, utilizing standardized or customer-specific procedures, for example, SIP testing according to ASME BPE and other testing. So let's have a closer look at the market requirements. Besides the how, we talked about the how products are manufactured, the GMP. Often end users also want to know where the products have been manufactured. In this context, we're talking about the product's country of origin. But why is that important? There's something called the country of origin effect. Most of you know it already. On the market, Rubber Fab is perceived as a supplier of premium quality products for the food and pharmaceutical industry. The country of origin effect is a psychological effect describing how the customer's attitude, perception, and purchasing decision is influenced by the product's country of origin, or more specifically, the label, what it says where the product is manufactured. In our case, our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets is manufactured in Europe entirely, so the compounds are manufactured in Europe, the parts are manufactured in Europe. And I say this because the quality of a product is often associated with the country of origin, as described by the country of origin effect. Another topic I want to briefly mention is, in connection with the country of origin, is the so-called supplier declaration. A supplier's declaration is a declaration by which a supplier provides information to his customer concerning the originating status of good with regard to the specific preferential rules of origin. It basically implies that the supplier has control and the knowledge of the origin of the products, and by making out a supplier's declaration, the supplier can prove, or is to prove, where the products are coming from. A long story short, the supplier's declaration are mainly used for the delivery of goods within the European Union, and they're used to reduce export cost by allowing a preferential taxation, preferential treatment, when it can be proven that the products originate from the EU. So also here, the country of origin, the origin of the products might be of a certain relevance. Now, finally, I want to share some information on the actual products. Our new elastomeric range of tri-clamp gaskets. In this slide, you can see the FKM tri-clamp gaskets being presented. The new FKM tri-clamp gaskets are in full compliance with those guidelines and regulations. So we have the mentioned 3A sanitary standard. We have the EC 1935, the European Food Contact Regulation, and the corresponding good manufacturing practice, the EC 2023. The products comply with the FDA section for rubber materials 177.2600, and as I've mentioned before, not only has the formulation been reviewed and evaluated, but also we have performed extraction testing. In combination with that, the products are manufactured according to FDA pure and good manufacturing practice according to chapter 174.5. The products are USP class 6 tested, ADI free, and for sure there are more statements or compliance topics not listed here that we can ensure with our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets. The key benefits of FKM briefly. The FKM product we are providing here are free of bisphenol, whereas the new FKM range is entirely peroxide cured. So this is very important. The FKM of our new range of products is peroxide cured, which eliminates any form of bisphenol in the formulation, and it allows for better physical properties, for example, steam resistance. FKM in general has an excellent temperature resistance from 34 degrees Celsius up to minus 34 degrees Celsius up to 204 degrees Celsius. It has a very high chemical stability. The FKM is suitable for a variety of applications. Like always, the service life of the gasket should always be considered depending on the application parameters and the process requirements. For more aggressive media, a PTFE quality should be used for safety reasons. The products, in our case, this is a very exciting news. I don't want to just go over it. I want to highlight this. In our case, for a new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets, all products will be laser marked by default, as you can see in the picture down here. And the products will be laser marked with a material designation, in this case here FKM, but also the product's unique batch number. By this, we want to allow full and easy traceability and want to allow that you can easily see what kind of material you're dealing with. In this case, you will read FKM followed by a batch number. You also see the physical properties of the material down here. Yes, and let me move on to the next material, our VMQ silicone gaskets. The level of compliance, the level of available certificates and declarations is the same as for the FKM. So briefly, we have the 3A sanitary standard. We are in compliance with EU regulations, also in compliance with FDA regulations, both according to extraction testing that is involved, but also according to good manufacturing practices. They are also USP Class 6 tested. They are also ADI free. Our silicone materials are platinum cured. Silicone is the material of choice in hygienic water systems or when harder gasket materials are not suitable for the flanges being used. The gaskets made of silicone differ from other elastomeric materials in their transparency and feel, as you can see in the picture up here. Silicone has an excellent resistance to oxygen, ozone, some solvents, and a wide range of oils. The temperature spectrum of silicone ranges from minus 40 degrees C up to 232 degrees C. And because of the natural purity of silicone, the gaskets are often used in the food and pharmaceutical industries. Also, our silicone gaskets will be laser etched, laser marked by default to ensure full and easy traceability of each and every part and to ensure material identification by the material designation in front of the batch number, laser etched directly onto the gasket. As you can see in the picture down here, however, it is very hard to see with a camera for silicone, but I think you get the idea, and it's very visible. It's easy, you can easily read the laser marking also on silicone when you hold the gasket in your own hand. Finally, our new EPDM gaskets are also in compliance with the certificates and declarations I had mentioned before for FKM and silicone, so the 3A standard, the European FDA regulations, USP Class 6, they're also ADI free. EPDM has a good temperature resistance, in this case from minus 34 to plus 149°C. It has a very good media resistance to hot water, mild steam cycles, acids, and alkalis. Due to its very good resistance, EPDM is compatible with CLP and most mild SIP cleaning media. EPDM is therefore suitable for use in bioreactors and in many synthesis processes for active pharmaceutical ingredients. EPDM is only suitable to a very limited extent for use in media containing oil and grease. Also, it is not suitable for very long and intensive steam cycles. The products will be laser etched by as well. So also the EPDM products will be laser marked by default to ensure full and easy traceability and material identification for each and every part. You can see the laser etching, also the laser marking in the picture down here. So we have now seen the scope, the range of our new elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets, FKM, silicone, and EPDM. Please note that in general, for all of these materials, the specific application should be always taken into account when choosing the right gasketing material to evaluate the suitability of the materials. For specific application recommendations, we always, as always, we kindly invite you to consult Rubber Fab beforehand. To support the launch and success of this range of new products, we have created product one-pager, which have already been shared with you. We also have created material and product dossiers. We have created a new certificate layout to provide more information on the order, the compound itself, the compliance level, the physical properties of the materials, and so on. So you will be able to see all these information in our new certificate layout, which will be sent to you with every shipment of products, with every order. We have also updated our technical product presentation so we can give you technical support where you need it. We have created certain informational documents and are prepared to support you in engaging your end users. So, in addition to the already existing compliance level that we have with our current range, which covers USP Class 6, 3A, and ADI, I want to show you the additional benefits in an overview at this point now, the additional benefits that our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets offers to you and to your customers. And this is actually quite amazing. So let's have a look at the additional benefits our new range of elastomeric tri-clamp products provides alongside the already existing level of compliance of our current range. So first of all, the products are manufactured in Europe. All products are laser marked by default. That means they carry a batch number and a material designation. And when I say they're laser marked by default, I mean by default. That means no additional cost applies to this additional value. This laser marking, like I said before, allows full and easy traceability. It further allows easy material identification. Keep in mind, or please be aware, that no color coding will be necessary for these products, and the products will also not be offered with color coding. The material can be identified by the laser marked material designation directly on the gasket. So it's no longer necessary to compare color coding tables and see and to find out what material you have in your hands. It can be easily read straight from the gasket. When introducing the products on the slides before, I informed you that all of our materials are only peroxide and platinum cured. So we only use peroxide and platinum curing agents. The EPDM and the FKM as well, They are both peroxide cured. The silicone is platinum cured. Further, you see that we are now in full compliance with EC 1935 from the year 2004, the European Food Contact Regulation. We are in full compliance with the corresponding good manufacturing practice, the EC 2023 from the year 2006, the regulation on GMP. We are in full compliance with the FDA, current good manufacturing practice, according to Chapter 174.5 as well. Additional benefits for you are also that those products, our new range of elastomeric gaskets, will be offered to you for the same selling price or with the same selling prices as our current range of products. We further can provide you with a complete portfolio of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets covering the entire DIN, the entire ISO, and the entire ESME range. On the ESME range up to 12-inch. We have an additional supply chain in place that improves our sourcing flexibility and in general minimizes the risk of supply bottlenecks. With this new range of products, I've mentioned it before, I can't say it enough, we have a higher level of quality control than we ever had before. So we have an extremely vast and extensive quality control system in place throughout the whole supply chain. And it also includes on-site audits for each of the suppliers we're working with. And yes, altogether, I mean, these benefits, they're just impressive. So we offer all these additional benefits to you for the same selling price as before. And you see that those products really symbolize a step up in what we have been offering so far. In the beginning of this webinar, we have asked the question, can elastomeric gaskets be more than just a commodity? I hope that after this presentation, you are able to better answer this question. We are sure that with the number of benefits we have created for a new range of elastomeric tri-clamp gaskets, these products are more than just a commodity and will create real additional value for you, our partners, and for your customers. After announcing, I think there's some symbols flying in here still. Yep. So let me pull them up. But at this point, after announcing our new range of products, I also want to share some information on the availability of the products. As we have communicated already, the DIN ISO range gaskets will start to become available in August. The ESME range of products will start to become available in September. In general, we have scheduled the silicone and FKM products to be available first, followed by the EPDM products. We will also inform you again once the entire EPDM range of products is fully available. At this time, I want to communicate clearly that this presentation serves as an early announcement and that we want to ensure sufficient availability before making promises on the exact lead time. In any case, please feel free to inform us about your product demands already. Please send us your inquiries. We might have certain products already available, or we can try to prioritize accordingly. This being said, I hope that you have enjoyed this webinar. Further, I hope that you are now as excited about a new range of products as we are. If you have additional questions after this webinar or in the coming days, maybe after the weekend, please feel free to reach out to us. The entire Rubber Fab team is available to support you. We are looking forward to hear from you soon. Thank you again from my side. And Dominik, now back to you.
Thank you, Sasha, for presenting these valuable insights. Dear audience, I hope you enjoyed this webinar and also the other webinars from the second series as much as we did. If you have any comment or feedback, please send us a mail. As usual, we will share the recorded session and other documents as a handout with you after the session. Please be also reminded again on YouTube, where you will be able to see this webinar in a few days. As mentioned with the 6th webinar, our second series closes. Stay tuned for more to come, or please let us know in case there is any topic that we should focus on in potentially more webinars. Last but not least, Team Rubber Fab Europe wishes you great summertime. Stay safe and healthy. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend ahead.
Take care. Have a good weekend.